Hello and welcome to another episode of Time to Conquer. I am your host, Mia Paul, and like usual, I want to start us off today by saying thank you for spending a little bit of your time with me in your ear as we work to conquer our past, take control of our future, and start to live a life we love. This week is extra special coming together because last week we went live. It was so incredible, and I am so thankful and grateful for the love, the shares, the subscriptions, the downloads, and overall just the warm blanket of support I felt by all of you after putting so much work into this podcast the last couple months. Putting it out there, making it official was a huge step, and I am so proud of the way that it went over, and I am so proud and thankful that you are choosing again this week to come back and spend some time with me. This week, we are doing more inner reflection. We have talked over the last couple episodes about so much, about our circle of support, about the opinions of others, about our limiting beliefs about ourselves. And this is an important message today because if I have learned anything over the last 6 or 7 years on my own personal journey of transformation, it is this. We could have the best support system. We could have the most honest group of people around us pushing us to be better, pushing us to do more, chase our goals, hit our dreams, and if there is one thing that is going to hold you back, even with the most supportive system around you, it is going to be you. How many times have we gotten into our own way? How many times have we gotten into our own head and allowed the what-ifs, the fears, the concerns, the danger of the unknown to let us hold ourselves back? So many times. If you are anything like me, and I would assume you are, since you are subscribed to this podcast and spending time with me each week, I feel confident in the fact that you probably have a brain full of ideas and dreams and goals that you think about all the time, things that keep you awake at night, things that push you to constantly want to become better. And if you're anything like me, there have probably been some times where the situation has presented itself that you can take that next step, that you can finally move towards those exciting things, and you feel instant hesitation. You take a minute and you breathe, and all of a sudden, all of the excitement you had, all of the reasons you remembered why you wanted to do this fall away because you allow yourself to talk yourself down. You allow your brain to all of a sudden shift from this creative mode where everything is wonderful and great, and you know the world is at your fingertips. And then the what-ifs come into play. Then the things that others, the opinions that you tried to tune out but you were unable to ignore, seep in. Then the thoughts of the past experiences where you've tried before, where you've taken those steps and it just didn't work out. Allowed yourself to feel the wind slipping out of your sails. You are your own worst enemy, and it is so hard to know that you can have the best systems, the best friends, the best coaches, and in the end, it's you. It's you holding yourself back. Somewhere along the line, we started to believe that we needed permission to do the things we wanted to do, whether it's the way you were parented, the way you went through school, the friends you've allowed around you, or just the negative self-talk that you've been dealing with for years. sometimes we think that our desires, our goals, our dreams aren't enough of a reason to push. We allow other people to put their limiting self-beliefs onto us, to give us their horrible negative examples of why it won't work. And the truth is, if you listen to that, if you allow those negative feelings, those negative thoughts, those experiences to dictate your future, it probably won't work. And that's the truth. We are in control. But when you are looking for constant permission from outside sources, sometimes it's hard to remember that in the end, the only person you need permission from is yourself. The only person that can tell you, is it worth it or not, to put in the work, the long hours, to transform and evolve into a better person, is the person looking back at you in the mirror. The person that lays in bed with you at night as you try to close your eyes and fall asleep, and that little voice in your head is either going to push you to do better or weigh you down and try to stop you from moving forward. The concept of permission is funny because when you're a kid, all you think about is as being an adult, you'll be able to do anything you want. You'll be able to live the life you want. You'll be able to eat the food you want and go to bed when you want and just be in total control. And then as you become an adult, something shifts because you realize that maybe you're not as in control as you thought you would be at this stage of your life. Maybe you have a job that dictates if you can take a day off or spend time with your family or go to this, that, or another holiday. Maybe you found yourself with a significant other or an intimate partnership that doesn't allow you to be your own person. Maybe the stress and chaos of life have just compounded and the weight on your shoulders is so heavy you don't even have the energy to think about improving or being better. The decision to break that cycle, the decision to move forward and finally release those shackles can only come from one person. You. You can have the best coach in the world. You can listen to the most inspirational podcasts and motivational speakers. You can have somebody in your life who is constantly pushing you and giving you support and telling you all of the reasons this work will be worth it. But if you don't believe it, truly believe it in your heart, you will not make any progress towards those dreams. You will not hit those goals. And then it just becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy because you've told yourself that you can't do it. It's not possible for you. It's possible for those people because they have XYZ, but not for you. So you don't put in the work. And you don't put in the effort. And you don't commit to the time that it needs to transform or happen. And then it doesn't happen. And then you are only left with the thought in your brain saying, see, I told you you couldn't do it. But the only reason that prophecy was fulfilled was because you didn't believe that it could. Take any professional athlete or a businessman or businesswoman you look up to. Take a mentor or an idol that you have that has achieved something great in their life that you also want to achieve for yourself. And if you were able to connect with that person and ask them the work it took to get them where they are, I can guarantee without a shadow of a doubt that not one of those people would be able to say that they got where they are without any work. That there was no fear on the journey. That there was nobody alongside of them that maybe had an opinion that said it wasn't worth it or that they wouldn't be able to achieve that goal. The difference is somebody who is committed to transformation, somebody who is so sure in their soul that it is worth it, tunes that noise out, and pushes forward. They let go of those opinions that are only holding them back. They don't surround themselves with negative people, and they look at themselves in the mirror every single day and remind themselves why this is worth it. They look at their families, they look at their friends, they look at the charity that they want to create and the lives that it could impact, and that is what pushes them to keep going. Through the hard days, through the no's, through the stressful moments where they have those thoughts of, is this worth it? They look back at those motivational pushes and they say, yes, this will be worth it because I will change my life. I will change the lives of generations after me. I will change strangers' lives because I am committed to this idea, to this thought. I am committed to being a better person. Even if it's as small of a step as smiling at somebody on the street or holding a door open or being a mentor to somebody who genuinely needs a friend. Maybe you don't need to start with thinking about changing the world. Maybe your focus can be one person. But to one person, you could change everything. And maybe that's not an outside source. Maybe that one person is you. I'm going to change things up today, and instead of just sharing these tidbits and sharing this advice and this knowledge that I have, I am going to challenge you. And this may be an uncomfortable challenge, and you may hear this and you might be like, oh, Mia, I don't know. Today, I am challenging you to trust yourself, to believe in yourself, to let things go. The things in your past that are holding you back, you need to release them. The things in your future that are waiting for you, you need to believe they are worth it. You need to allow yourself to shift. And my challenge for you today is for you to give yourself permission to finally jump all in. Stop with the tiptoeing. Stop with the just enough, the little sprinkles here and there. Your transformation doesn't always have to be 0 to 100. In fact, I recommend that it's not. 0 to 100 is fun at first, and then it gets exhausting. 0 to 100 gets you a couple steps forward right away. And then you hit a roadblock and you're not able to give 100. Something in your life changes. You go through a stressful situation. Something outside of your control happens to you and you're not able to give 100. And then you go right back to 0. That's not our time. That's not our experience this time. This time, we're committing 100% to doing more and better each day. Sometimes your best is just surviving. When we talked about our seasons of life last week, we talked about how you can't get from survival to thrival without healing. But the thing is, it's not a straight line. It never is. You can go from survival to healing to thrival, and then something new can come back up that'll take you right back to survival in a new category, in a new part of your life. And you will have to work on healing that to continue to move forward. Everybody experiences pain. Everybody experiences struggle and hardship and things thrown at them that they never saw coming. Everybody has moments where they're sitting alone in a dark or quiet room and they think, how will I ever survive this? Will things ever get better? Am I strong enough to handle this? And I am here to tell you that yes, you are strong enough. Yes, things will get better. And yes, you will survive. Because you, my friend, you are a warrior. and you are committed to growth. You are committed to transformation. You are committed to evolving into a person that lives a life that they love. My challenge to you today is to give yourself that permission to shift, to pivot, to figure out who you want to become, what life you want to live. And the second part of that challenge is you need to allow yourself to finally commit to doing the work to make it a reality. Nothing good comes easily. Everything good involves some sort of fear. Whether that's an internal fear, the fear of others, a stressful situation that you don't know how you'll make it through. But when you do, and you will, the pride that comes from moving forward and not letting yourself be derailed and honoring your word to yourself, that is worth all of the work. That is worth all of the hardship. Sometimes, especially if you've experienced trauma, especially if you've experienced hardship in your childhood or at the hands of somebody that you trusted and that you should have been able to believe was in your corner and unfortunately proved to you that they were not. It's easy in those situations on your transformation, on your path towards growth, to allow yourself to play small. Because somebody hurt you in the past, you hurt yourself in the past, maybe you didn't honor your word to yourself. So you play small because if you set small goals, you'll hit them and you'll feel proud about it. And no, you won't put yourself out there because then nobody can judge you or critique what you're doing. Today, my friend, that stops right now. Give yourself that permission to set standards and hold others and yourself to them. The more you are confident in where you are going, the more you believe that you are capable, the less others will be able to tear you down. The less you will let that little voice in your head take any of your time. Because that little voice has an enemy. And that enemy is your confidence. When you are making steps in the right direction, it doesn't need to be 100%. It doesn't need to be perfect. Because you know and you are confident that you are putting the time, the effort, and the commitment in towards your goals. There is no need to explain to anybody other than yourself why you are making these changes. But if you feel like you have an explanation to give it with confidence. Every day you need to put in the work. Every day you need to show up at your best. Whether your best is waking up and breathing that day, or accomplishing every single thing on your to-do list and feeling the most proud because you did everything you needed to do that day, or somewhere in the middle. The thing you need to focus on is you will not give up. And if you are at the point where you want to make a change and you feel guilty or you feel sadness for letting go of your life as you've known it before and stepping into the role of the life that you want to live now, and the person you want to become, and the influence you want to leave, and the friend and support you want to be able to provide to others, let go of that guilt, because you are not giving up on yourself. You are starting over. There's something to be said about a fresh start, because the slate is yours to set those expectations. The opportunity for you is only limited for you. The opportunity of your life will only be as grand as you allow it to be. So, my friends, we need to remember that the ones around us are important. Our coaches, our mentors, our friends, our family, and loved ones, they are a vital part of this process of transformation. But the number one motivator, reason to move forward needs to come from you. Your coach, your friend, your mentor, your family member, your support system will never push you farther than you will push yourself. Have them in your corner, have them supporting you, but you lead you. So my challenge for you today is to let go of something that's been holding you back. Step forward into the next phase of your life, of your transformation, and your evolution. And trust yourself that you are capable. It is worth it. And you will honor your commitment to you and show yourself what you are capable of. Focus on you, and the rest will follow. Believe in yourself, and your loved ones will believe in you. Take steps in the right direction every single day, and you will look back and realize you have traveled miles from where you were to where you are going. You might not reach that end destination right away, but you will be closer than you were if you stopped moving and stopped taking those steps. I feel it is important to remind you that I am here. I show up for you constantly. I am here every single week. But I am only a tiny part of what you need. However, if you are listening to these podcasts, if you are connecting with me on social media, if you are feeling some emotion when you hear these words, like you are ready, I invite you to schedule a free 30-minute call with me so I can help you find that clarity, start to build that confidence, and move forward towards those goals. I am here as your friend, and I am offering myself as your coach. A free 30-minute call is just that, 30 minutes for us to connect, work together, and figure out if we would be a good fit to work together as you move forward on your transformation journey. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Thank you for subscribing to this podcast, leaving me positive reviews, emailing me all of your kind words, finding me on social media, connecting with me, sharing with your friends and those people that you know need to hear it. Thank you for helping me take these steps on my journey. Because without you, I wouldn't be where I am. And with me, maybe you can get farther than you ever believed was possible. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. I look forward to talking to you next week. Special little sneak peek. We will not be in this office next week. We are taking the podcast on the road, and I'm excited to share some more tips, some more experiences, and dive deeper into the goals you are going to set for yourself, the future you are going to commit to next week. Have a great day. Thank you. Love you.